All right, we are back with another video for today. Today we're going to still be working with a little bit of both envelope, distort, and our blending tools here. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be in our program here. Hey, you can't see me. Where am I at? Nope. There I am. All right. So we're going to go and get started here. Sorry, thought I heard a knock on my door. And we're going to be in our program. We're going to be typical web large, right? So if you're here, web large. Okay, first things first, we are going to put a background on our layer here. Okay, so rectangle tool. And we'll just put a layer here. Right? I like this pink. I might go a little bit darker. So you know what? Let's go with a purple. I like a purple better than a pink. Okay, so go with this purple here. All right, now what we're gonna do is we need our text. Okay, so text. All right, if you don't see this bounding box, right, that's what it's called. It's called a bounding box, right? If you hit Control Shift B, okay, yours might look something like this. You're like, oh my God, Mr. W, I can't make my stuff bigger. What's happening here, right? Control Shift B. All right, that'll bring up your bounding box there. All right, let's make this bigger. Okay. All right. So we're going to put in our text, right? We're going to do two layers, right? Not two layers, but two words, okay, is what I want for this assignment so that it can look a little bit cool, right? Towards the end, we'll see kind of what that's going to look like. So we're going to go with let's go with this. Let's spell it a little bit better here, right? Okay. And I'm going to play around with mine. I'm going to make sure that mine is center aligned here so that it looks good. You don't have to do this. This is just me being picky. Okay. This also helps me with this here, right? So I'm going to reset mine to have white background and a black stroke. I'm going to go with just a 2. I don't want to get too high of a stroke here so that we can kind of work through this process, okay? Ow. All right, first things first, I'm going to object expand, okay, object and fill. Okay, I'm going to go object, envelope distort, and I'm going to go make with mesh. Okay, make with mesh. I'm going to stick with a 4x4. It's going to work pretty fine for us here. I'm going to zoom in here so you can kind of see what I'm doing with this part. Okay, so taking our direct selection tool, this white arrow here, okay, I'm going to select. First, I'm going to lock my background because I hate when I move my background. Okay, so click on here. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag over this line of warp points. Okay, then I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to click and drag over these. Okay, so now I have this whole row and this whole row selected. You can't really tell, but I promise you they are. Okay, you see the difference between the white dot and the blue dot there. Okay, so I'm just going to use my arrow keys, right? I'm going to go to the right, about 7 or 8. And I think that should be good. Then, again, I'm going to select, but I'm going to select here just this column. I'm going to go up 6 times, right, or so. Again, that's going to be personal preference. And then I'm going to select this column, and I'm going to go down just a little bit there. All right, boom. We've created this fancy warp text, right? Again, using whatever font you want. Something bold, obviously, again, is going to be key. Object. Okay. Go object, expand. All right, again, both of those there. I'm going to zoom out so that we can see here. Excuse me. All right. So now, holding the Alt key, I want to make 2 copies. Copy. Then what you can do is you can hit Control D. That'll make another copy the same way, right? Or again, you just click and drag to make your stuff there. Okay. All right. So 3 areas here of what we need. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to make our blend. All right. So we're going to go to blend options. We're going to go specific steps. We're going to go 10. All right. This one's going to be very simple. Okay. And then again, Control Alt B. That'll make your blend there. It'll make it look nice and fancy. Okay. This looks a little weird right now, but I promise we're going to fix it up. It's going to look a little bit different. Okay. All right. Next thing you need to do is you need to make a circle. All right. Holding that shift key, right? Let's make that ellipse. Okay. Let's get rid of our foreground. All right. We'll just keep this background here. And again, using the direct selection tool. Okay. I'm going to click and drag over 2 points. Okay. So the top one and the right one there. Okay. Once I've done that, I'm just going to hit the backspace key. And I'm going to delete that. Okay, so now I should have this quarter circle, right? All right, again, direct selection tool. I'm going to click on this point here. And you see these 2 bars pop up. I'm going to take one of these bars and I am going to create this arch. Okay, take this arch here. I'm going to rotate it. Okay, just get close to the outside of this, right? You see that little rotation tool pops up. And we'll rotate it just to where it's something like this. All right. So now we have our blend and we have our what we call a spine. Okay, so we're going to select both. Go to Object. We're going to go to Blend. We're going to go to Replace Spine. And you see it's going to give us this nice fancy wave of text. Okay. All right. That's one option. Okay. We're going to do 3 different versions of this. Okay. Same thing. And don't worry, you don't have to go through all those steps again to adjust this, right? So go with that one. Okay. So once we have this selected, okay, we're going to hold Option, not Option, Alt. Okay, and we're going to click and drag, create another one. Okay, this one, what we're going to do is we're going to just show you how to kind of expand this out so that it looks a little bit smoother. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Object. We're going to go to Blend, or there we're going to hit Expand. Okay, this is very important not to go to Expand here. Blend, Expand. Okay. All right, so now this looks a little bit crazy. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to hit our Pathfinder tool. If you do not have your Pathfinder tool where I have mine, you go again right here, Pathfinder, right, Window, Pathfinder, and you should be able to pull that up. We're going to go to this bottom option, right, called Trim. Boom. It makes it a little bit better, a little easier to kind of see. Somebody's calling me. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, I can look for it and send it to you. All right, I'll do that in a minute. Where was I? Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to select here. All right, we're going to do this only for the ability to change the color here. Okay, and really what we're going to do is I'm going to look here. We're going to change the color. I don't know. I'm going to go with yellow. Yellow stands out a little bit better to me. And we could stick with a black or we can go with something else. Either way, it does not matter. We can do something like this. Right, just to get this kind of effect. I don't like that white. Maybe something like this. Looks a little bit better. Okay. So what up, losers? Okay. Still that same concept. All right. I'm going to take this. Holding Shift and Alt together, I'm going to just bring this down to make it a little bit smaller so it's out of the way. Okay, same thing here. Bring bring this down just to make it a little bit smaller and move it out of the way. Okay, now our third one. There's a third thing that we're going to do. So we're going to copy this one again, right? So we're select, hold Alt, bring it down here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger up here. Okay, now this one, we're not going to do too much messing around. All we're going to do is change the color, but in order to change the color on this successfully, right, and make it blend into the background, that's going to be our kind of goal here, right, is have it to blend into the background, is we're going to need to change the color of the 3 different layers, right? Remember how we started? We had 3 layers of What's Up Losers. And so here, if you look at your layers panel, right, you can see that this is the group that you have selected. Okay, see how that lights up right over here? Okay, not this one, which lights up there, not this one, which lights up here, but this one, which lights up right here. Okay, we're going to drop down this arrow. We should then get our blend. We're going to drop that down again. Okay, we're not going to mess with the spine, okay, because we need the spine. Okay, we're going to mess with these 3 sections here. So first off, it'll be this first one. Start with something that's a little bit brighter, right? So let's go with maybe something along these lines. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stroke off. Okay. All right, so there's the first layer. Okay, you see how it's blending into the white? Okay, that's the goal. All right, but now we're going to take that white, we're going to change it to something else. All right, let's go with this yellow. Okay, just again to, now let's go with maybe a pink. Okay. Okay. And again, take off that stroke. And then we'll go to our last one here, and we'll make it not the exact same purple that I have here, right? But maybe something just a little bit lighter. That still kind of stands out a little bit, but it's kind of already blending in. Now, if you want to go with the one that we already used, you can, and it'll cause this nice blend into the background here. Oops, I forgot to take the stroke off. And it'll cause this nice little warpy blend right into the background. Okay. All right. Now, here's what I want you to do. This one's going to be the challenging part. It's not really challenging at all. We're going to take the direct selection tool. We're going to click on each one of these letters, and I want you to manipulate them in the slightest, right? So take this, right, the direct selection tool, and you're going to take each of these letters, and you're going to just manipulate them a little bit. Okay. Now you can rotate them if you want, right? If you see this transform button up here, right? Once I've selected my letter, I can hit transform. If I wanted to maybe rotate it a little bit, I could do that, and then kind of just bring it back over here. Okay, we have that. Now, we could, again, just to make it a little bit easier to see, we could go in and give this a stroke, something just a little bit darker than what we have selected. This need to be much darker. It just makes it a little bit easier to kind of see the process, right? I don't want too much like of that overlap there, right? So we see. Okay. Now, if I wanted to add more to make this blend look a little bit better, okay, I would go to Object, I would go to Blend, Blend Options, and so say I wanted to add more steps to make this look a little bit cooler. Yeah, I'd go up maybe 35, 40. Okay, it just gives it a better flow to the process. Okay, all right. Then you can have this there. All right, we can make these a little bit smaller. I don't really care too much about these. I just needed to show you how to do them. I want this piece right here to be your focal point. So if we can take these and lower those down, put those over here. And again, this is what I want as your focal point for the assignment today. Let me do something like this, and there we go. That is what we will export as our assignment for today. Go ahead and turn that into the folder. If and when you are done, you will have today and tomorrow to do this portion if you need it. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I am here to help you, but I do not want to help you with things that I go over in the video. Okay. But I will if I have to. Just know that I don't want to. Even though you're probably watching this portion of the video after you're already done. So, like, comment, subscribe. Do all the things. We will see you tomorrow or in class right now as you're watching this video. If you're watching this video at home, quit being a creeper. All right. Have a good day. Peace. See y'all during class.